Hello, beauty. Um, I'm seeing so many stuff in, the internet is a place where information, you know, fast drives, and that really calls my attention. Not for the best reasons, to be honest. Why? Because a lot on what I see is still on the map, and the main route of the map is to fix things, fix people, fix relationships, fix yourself, with a lot of recipes and a lot of goals. So this idea that, you are going to heal, you are going to be a better person, you are going to be, in a better relationship. So when we are operating under this map, the map of solving, the map of fixing, we are distracted. It's incredible, right? Because it looks like focus, but it's distraction. Is a distraction because takes us away from what could be. And this is very interesting because this also means that we need to, or we will lose control. So imagine the difference between I go to a restaurant to get I don't know what, so I'm going to enter the restaurant and just find out what they have, and from there I will choose. Or I will drive to a specific restaurant because I want to experience that particular plate. That is the difference, okay? So when we are driving to a certain place to get a certain result, we lose all the restaurants around. We lose all the possibilities of other plates that the restaurant has. We lose even the possibility of mixing different restaurants. Imagine, just to use the same metaphor. So my proposal is that we start operating with the minimum map possible. It's not possible, or at least until now I didn't find a way to operate with no map. But I think it's possible to, limit the use of the map. So that's what I'm going to focus, and that's what I will challenge you as well, to take a little bit, or for a while, the name of things and see what not naming promotes. In terms of relationships, this is amazing because names have a power, right? You already heard me saying this, like, what is a friendship? What is a marriage? What is, a partnership? What is a co-worker? And when we name the relationship, we have already, the list of what is there for me. We have we design the map, and we design all the stops and all the things, and we put all that inside. And that, most part of the times, if not always, doesn't allow us to see all the potential of that relationship, all the things that could be there and the things that cannot be there, or we don't want them. Experiment on the not naming. And if you don't name, and we have this urge of controlling, so we want to give a name, we want to know what is expected from us, right? Because of course I will be doing different things if I consider myself a friend, or if I consider myself a best friend, or even if I consider myself a partner, right? We all do that, right? And not only in our heads, but even in behaviors, in things that we will allow and we will not allow. And in relationships, it's interesting sometimes to operate without naming. Is very interesting to just relate with the person that is there and see what really happens. The brain is tricky. The brain tries most part of the times to control, and it has really difficulties to operate without a label, okay, and a name and a concept, because that is where it triggers the automatic pilot. That is where we also save energy, because we know how that works and I know what that means. And also it's interesting to think that, for instance, when we change cultures, can be that that same label means a different thing or has a different kind of map, right? That is very common. It's a thing that is very spoken here in the Netherlands by expats. For instance, they tend to say how difficult it is to make friends in the Netherlands. But that is because the concept of building up a friendship and what is expected for building that friendship is very different. For instance, from the country that I was born in, Portugal, is very, very different. So the person, of course, gets, oh, my map doesn't work here. And now, what do I do? And we literally become incompetent. Because if we don't have that map, if we don't have, that route that we are used to use, what do we do? And it's so interesting, because very, smart people, very intellectual, competent, even with many years of, going around the world, suddenly become incompetent. Become incompetent of a very simple thing of making friends. And it's so interesting. And every time that I see someone complaining about this, I need to find it very interesting and a little bit funny, I must confess, because it's really a proof that most part of the times we are in relationship and not in relating. We are just operating under that map that some way in time made all the sense in the world. And suddenly that map doesn't work. And suddenly, like, whoa, they cut the road, so I need to find other roads. And what happens when you don't have a GPS? You need to find out, and you need to sometimes end up in a place that was not the place that you wanted, or making more kilometers, or anything basically can happen. But it's interesting because relationships are a lot like this, and that makes our life so much complicated, so much more complicated. That's what I wanted to say, because makes us always looking for that map, and if that map is not present, then we get disturbed and incompetent, when in the natural way we are not incompetent. We have all the tools that we need to relate with someone. We just become incompetent because we believe that that map is the only way possible. And my challenge in my own relationships, and don't get me wrong, sometimes I ask the name. Sometimes like, okay, but what we are going to name this? Are we friends? Are we co-workers? Are we, someone that we know a little bit better? Are you my best friend? I consider you my best friend. What that means, and sometimes relationships also have different stages. I have something itching in my nose. Sorry. So relationships also, they pass different stages. I remember, for instance, with my husband, we started as really close friends, really very close friends. And that, was progressing for something else. When we go like, oh, but I also feel attracted, or I also feel now to be more time with you. So what that means, you know? So, and relationships and relating with someone, this can be the natural way. I will say that is the natural way. The change, now I feel more into it, and now I don't, and now I feel more like being alone, and now, so the society created these rules about relationships, and some people are just breaking the rules and doing whatever they want. And I think inside of the house, most part of people is doing whatever they want. Most part, not all. But the thing is, can we do that and feel okay? Because sometimes what I also see is that people are, yes, doing, whatever feels better for the relationship and for themselves, but they are still carrying disalignment or guilt, or a kind of a feeling like I'm different. And that's most part of the times not even true. It's always someone that has at least one, because then you can partnership, that has the same idea or the same desire. So I'm aiming for the moment that, yes, of course, we'll always had whatever type social, names and social rules, and I'm okay with that. No issue. But I'm aiming for the moment that we know that are things that are, it's okay, it's society, it's fine, but I have my own willing, I have my own relating. I'm doing this the way that I feel aligned, and I'm relating with people that I choose in the way that I choose. And I feel aligned. I don't feel any, or that I need to justify myself, or that I need to hide it. Some people hide it, what is a big weight in your shoulders. So I'm aiming for that moment that we all realize that relating is what we are made for. Relationships is a construction, okay? But we are made to relate with each other. And the way that we are going to relate with each other is our own business, our own and the person that we are relating with. And I'm aiming for the moment that we can be more and more open about the way we want to relate, and being honest with that, with everyone. And that becomes a place that we feel safe in our relationships. Nothing more beautiful than feeling safe in our relationships, whatever kind. Even work relationships, I find it so important to feel safe in the relationships that we have, even at work, because that is the place that we can, be ourselves and really shine. So today I wanted to bring this, and with not a lot of a structure, but I just wanted to put this out loud. And I'm thinking a lot about this, always, but now more, because I also think that times are changing, and we are going to feel things changing fast. Maybe we are all also going to feel that urge of being more honest, more ourselves, more authentic. And relationships is so the basis of our being that maybe we can start there, to find out really how can we also be more honest to ourselves and to the world by being honest and authentic in our relationships and the way we relate with each other. I just wanted to come out to you in a very simple way. Like I said, I didn't structure, I just put my phone on and I start talking because this is really something that I want to explore more and more. And you will see soon enough some work on my own name about this, and I hope to see you around. And if you feel curiosity about this topic, relationships and communication, maybe this is the place for you to stay and to connect a little bit more. Take care of yourself. See you.